welcome to this edition of Salima Speaks. You know, first I want to talk a little bit about, I was talking to a guy the other day, and I was asking him if he was on Facebook. And he's like, no, I'm not on Facebook because Facebook breaks up relationships. Hello? Facebook does not break up relationships. Lying and cheating breaks up relationships. Okay? So, like, when I meet somebody, the first thing I ask them, because I do networking on Facebook. So I ask them if they're on Facebook because that helps me kind of judge something about them. And I've actually had guys say, no, I'm not on Facebook. Then I go on their page and see they're on Facebook and in a relationship with. So then when I ask them about it, it's like, oh, that's an old page. Or how long does it take to change your profile, you know, to put not in a relationship, okay? And a lot of women, if you can't put your man's, like if you think you're in a relationship and you can't say in a relationship with on Facebook, you're not in a relationship with him because he will want to shout it from the rooftops. He will want for everybody to know unless he's up to something. You have to know that because, I mean, social media is everywhere now, and that's how we work, but that's how we meet people. That's how, with me, that's how we network. So if you're going to be honest with somebody, I think that you can honestly communicate with them on Facebook. So, so anyway, if you have a man in your life, like I know a friend of mine got engaged, and she put on there on her Facebook page, engaged to, okay? The guy went off. Now, if you're engaged to, you should be able to shout that from the rooftops, I'm engaged to. But if he's saying you can't put that on your Facebook page, something is up with that, you know, because he would want for everybody to know unless he had somebody else or he was doing something shady. And also, I want to talk to my women for a minute. If you meet a man and you go into a relationship saying, yeah, well, I don't want nothing and all I want is sex and all that stuff. People say men don't listen. Men do listen. And if you say, all I want is sex, I just want to hit and quit and all that stuff, that's what the man hears, okay? So you can't come later on thinking you're his woman, because you're not. Like my girl said in the commercial, it's just not the way it's done. If you want to be his woman, you go in thinking, I may want a relationship with this man. But if you go in there saying, all we're going to do is hit it, I just want to get my rocks off or whatever, that's what the man hears. And that's what the relationship is going to be. It's going to be a sexual thing. He may want a relationship, but not with you, because you're his sex buddy. You can't change in the middle, and now I want you to wife me up, or I'm your woman, or whatever, because that's not how you started out. 9 times out of 10, the way you started out is the way it's going to finish. Now, some of you young girls, and some of these older women too, they like the man, guess what they'll do? Get pregnant. Now, because you're pregnant, guess what? That's not going to make him automatically, wow, now he's in love with you. No, you're somebody he was having sex with that just happened to get pregnant. But that does not mean that he's now your man or that he's now in love with you. Hello, all it means is that you're somebody he was kicking it with and now you're pregnant. That's where baby daddies and baby's mommies come from, because y'all were not in a relationship. Y'all were just kicking it and you happen to get pregnant. Just because you're pregnant is not going to make him magically fall in love with you. So be sure what you want. You know, a lot of times men do know what they want. That's what the problem with us, that we don't. You know, when you go into a relationship, if you're just going to kick it, just be that. But no, it's not going anywhere. And know that that's where he's always going to see you at. He's not trying to take you home to mama. He may like you, he may respect you, but you are just somebody that he's kicking with, okay? Let me tell you guys something that I found out recently about the Food and Drug Administration. Apparently, farmers here are growing chickens. They're slaughtering the chickens here and sending them to China to be processed. Now, once they send them to China to process, they're saving millions of dollars. But here's the thing, and when I say process, that means they make the chicken patties, they make nuggets, they cut the chicken up, they package them, and then they send them back. The thing is, when they send them back, the FDA doesn't even check. They don't even check to see if those are the same chickens that we gave them that we're giving back. They're not even checking for that. So we're getting chickens back from China, processed, all cut up and everything, and we don't know if it's the same chickens we sent over there, or if they're even chickens, because you know they've eaten cat, rats, and dogs. So you might be eating a chicken patty, but it's really a dog patty. So you better be careful what you put in your mouth. When I put something in my mouth, I look at it first to make sure it looks clean, then I smell it, make sure it smells clean, then I might lick it. But anyway, I don't get off the subject. Just be careful what you put in your mouth. Research, research, research. Anyway, got a great show for you. Come back. Peace. Hello and welcome back. We're here with Mr. Knesset David Klein, and one of the things that he does a lot of stuff, but one of the things is that he's a street preacher. He's going to tell you all about that. Hello, Knesset.
How are you, Salima?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well. All is well.
You look well. I like your little striped tie and your suit and everything. Your hat, you're looking good.
Yeah.
Looking good. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Now, are you originally from Philadelphia?
Yes, I am.
Are you? As well as what part of Philadelphia?
I'm from South Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, we're from West Philly. Back in the day, they would have been fighting.
South Philly. Well, I've been all over. You know, South Philly, Southwest, North Philly, Germantown. My mom was from South Philly. My dad was from Germantown.
What high school did you go to?
From North Philadelphia. I went to John Bartram.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Okay, Bartram. No, we used to think those were the bad kids. Were y'all bad kids? Y'all used to beat people up and stuff?
No, not really.
And then maybe you didn't, but I think so.
That's another story. I can go into that a little later. Okay. Matter of fact, I went to school with Kobe Bryant's dad.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I lived down the street from him.
Okay.
Next block. And his dad, Kobe Bryant's dad, Joe, played for the Sixers. You know, he played for our high school, Bartram.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
He played for Bartram.
Okay.
But his Joe Bryant's dad liked boxing.
Okay.
He used to come to some of my fights.
And that's a segue into what you do.
Yeah.
Because you used to be a boxer.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I happen to be a 3-time Golden Glove champ. I won Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Louisiana Golden Gloves. Outstanding American Boxing Award in Canada. I lost to Aaron Pryor, the junior welterweight champ of the whole wide world, in Miami. I knocked him down until he got up. He spanked me like he was my dad, sent me back to Philly. Okay. He lost to Howard Davis, and Howard Davis went to the Olympics that year. So I didn't go to the Olympics. I would have made the Olympic team.
Really?
Yeah, the 76.
So you were that good?
I was that good.
Okay.
I was that good. And matter of fact, I fought 5 guys that are now Boxing Hall of Fame guys.
Really? Name a couple of them.
Well, I fought Choo Choo Charlie Brown, Tyrone Butterfly Crawley, Aaron Pryor, Michelle Briere of Canada.
Wow.
I won the Outstanding American Boxing Award in Canada. And Angel Cruz, who's a New York State champ.
Oh, you heard of him, yeah.
Matter of fact, I still talk to him on the phone sometime.
Okay.
He was the New York State champ. And the thing was, I grew up in a shooting gallery. You know what a shooting gallery is?
I don't.
Okay, shooting gallery, you from the suburbs, that's right. Shooting gallery is my mom and dad happened to be on Huron when I was born.
Okay, really?
Right.
Okay.
And so my dad, I think he might have been in Grateford at the time, you know, but my mom was getting high and you know, family, friends, you know, had to knock on the door to go to school, get in the bathroom so I can wash up, go to school. But my mom was a good mom. She always had my money for my equipment for sports. Okay. You know, coaches helped raise me. She was a good mom.
So even though she was addicted, she was a good mom.
Yeah, she was a good mom. You know,
okay.
and she was, you know, on and off, you know, but what she gave her heart to Jesus Christ, and I mean, things had stopped.
Is she still living?
No, she's passed.
Okay.
But the awesome point about it was that she was always encouraging to me, and I was boxing. You know, like I said, I was a 3-time Golden Glove champ, and when I lost to go to Olympics to Aaron Pryor, I came back home and I lost to a guy that shouldn't even been in the ring with me, because Olympic year you can go all these different tournaments, you know.
Okay.
So my mom had given her heart to Christ. She wasn't getting high, none of that stuff anymore. Okay. And it was like, you know, hey, this was a really wake up, because you know I knew mom.
Right.
You know, she was, you know, so I gave my boxing career up.
So you were
career.
that good that you could have gone further.
Yeah. And I was in Canada in '75, right?
Okay.
And I was in my dressing room. I was in my hotel room, and 3 of us stayed in. Jerome Silky Jackson, who was a middleweight, welterweight, middleweight.
I have heard of him.
He's one of the trainers at 26 and Master. And I don't know if you ever see the mayor, you see a big brown skinned guy, well-haired guy, you know. His name is Broderick Mason. He's a police officer, but he's the mayor's personal bodyguard.
Okay.
Well, all of us used to box together, and we roamed together when we traveled to
Okay.
Canada, Miami, all different places. So what happened was, in my hotel room, I actually heard God speak to me.
Wow.
And he said, "You ain't gonna turn pro. I'm gonna save you." And I actually heard that. I said, "Wow," you know. And that night, I won the Outstanding American Boxer Award in Canada.
Really?
I was awarded the outstanding. They had to give one to the Outstanding American, one to the Outstanding Canadian, and I won that night the Outstanding American Boxer Award.
So would it have been a conflict, though, to be saved or be close to God and still be a boxer?
Okay, I want to tell you this. I have a son. I have 4 sons and 3 daughters. Okay. But my son, my youngest son, you know, who was playing every sport like I played, he still has his trophies and everything. You know, I wear his championship jackets. You know, you wouldn't even know this guy was a champ. Me, when I was a champ, everybody knew I was a champ. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't come up in the hood like me. You know, he didn't come in the hood like me. You know, so everybody knew we was champs. Me and the friends that hung together, everybody knew I was a champ.
So when you say that, you were like telling people and...
No, they knew, because they come up in Philly, everybody knew you. Okay. You know? But the thing was, that's where the pride was, you know. Okay. And when I gave my heart to the Lord, I threw my trophies away. That was, and everything. I just watched the trash man just turn them around.
Really?
Gave everything up, pictures, everything, just let it go. I said, Jesus, you gave me a chance to do my thing, now I'm gonna do your thing.
Okay, and that's what I'm talking about.
Then I came to be a street preacher.
Okay, but that's what I'm talking about, though. Couldn't you have been saved and still have, I mean, because some boxers and sports guys are still saved, and some are Christian, some are Muslim. Yeah. So why do you think that you couldn't have served the Lord and been a boxer?
Again, my sons, I never made them throw their stuff away. Okay. But this was from 10 years old to 20 years old. I was a jock. Okay. And
you were in the limelight.
And I was on the limelight. You know, from like I said, 10 years old, 12 years old, in the papers, on TV, and everything. And so, 13 different championships in my life, from a youth to a young adult. And so this was my life, winning trophies. And then, you know, all the boxers, you know, we got the girls, right? And the sports guys, we got the girls. So when we go to the parties, you know, we got the real parties with the jumping out the cakes and all that. We got the real parties.
Okay, you have to put the paper down, because you can't put the paper in front of the host's face.
Excuse me.
Not
so
Salima.
we had the real parties.
Okay.
And so what happened is, when God touched my heart, I let it all go. And the whole thing was, Salima, you asked me a good question. You have guys that are playing sports that are Christians, Muslims, whatever, in their religion. God told me to let it go. Okay. And I let it go. And it was a stronghold, and I let it go. I had a new God.
Now, when you said you heard the voice of God, what did it sound like? No, seriously, what did it sound like?
Okay, just like you talking to me and I hear you.
Like Moses with the bush, Moses. I mean, it was like a kind of echo thing. I'm serious.
You like that, Rhonda, don't you? So what happened was, just like we talked, he said, I just heard a voice. Okay. But what happened is that next thing you know, I became a street preacher.
Okay.
And most
And
of
you're
my
still
friends,
in the limelight.
oh yes,
But now
yes,
you're in a
yes.
different light.
And so awesome was that at that time, like a lot of my friends had been Muslim and other, you know, into the world like that. And when the Wild Steve, I would dress like this, you know, with the long hat and the long coats, you know, like, you know, that time, that season. So when Wild Steve Muhammad came and Farrakhan came and everybody was out, I was out. And I had my Bible and I had my tracts and ministering. And then you would see the Muslims come around and they said, no, that's Ken. He's all right. That's what he do, you know. So I'm at the pen relays. I'm at the Wild Steve Muhammad's meet. I'm at the Farrakhan meetings. I'm still out because I'm used to being in the limelight and around the people. So that's what evangelists do. But what happened is they knew that I gave up my career, gave up my stuff to get his stuff.
Wow.
You know? So I grew up. Now, if you look at me now, if you see me now, I'm in front of John Wanamaker's sometime, and I'm ministering in front of John Wanamaker's.
Well, it's Macy's now, though, right?
No, excuse me. The gallery. Let's just say the gallery.
Oh, the gallery, okay.
I'm in the gallery, outside the gallery. And what's so awesome about the gallery, or if I'm not in front of the gallery, I'm in Fifth and Allegheny because I preach in Spanish. So Fifth and Allegheny, I get a chance to preach in Spanish.
So you're bilingual.
No, I'm multilingual.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm multilingual.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I have my own
not just
school.
bi, he's multi.
I have a linguistic school where I teach language, where you learn enough of any language for conversation.
Really? Now tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when I gave up my boxing career, you know, I got baptized in the Holy Spirit. Okay. You know, and what happened is, since I was good with my hands, I wanted to work with my hands, so I went to University of Penn Hospital, and I started working in physical therapy. Wow. Okay, and I had volunteered in physical therapy before they gave me the job. Now, when the therapist is over there where the audience is, and she would send me over here with the rest of the people. Okay. When she gets over here, she needs to know something about the old people that broke their hip or their arm or whatever was happening. And so I had to find some way. So, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. Exactly. So this is how I found that I had the gift. I took paper and I took pencil. And I asked their siblings, I said, the Persian lady, I said, how you say this in your language? How you say this in your language? Wow. So I wrote it like it sound. Next thing I start knowing. And so, you know, I start talking to the Persian lady. So you weren't formally trained in these different languages? No, God just gave it to me. And Persian lady, my boss come over, I said, Esmisha Mochi S. You know, what is your name? Persian. Wow. Fakti Shwan Johasti. How long have you been here? Okay. Kujo S Zendagi Mikani. Where you live. And that's all Persian, you know? Wow. Because Persian is not something that's like you normally hear from African American people. Yeah. And so what happened then, it was one guy was a war hero from Lithuania. And he told me about 5 different languages. And so I would write it like it sound. And then I start writing it. And like I said, now I preach in Spanish. Okay. And I have tracks in Spanish, and I just show off. Now, how did you learn Spanish? The same way. Really? And I hold the track up in the street corner with my Bible and my track. Don't laugh, Rhonda. And I have it up, you know. And I said, Dios ama tanto amando que dijo, asum Jesus por amor de la cruz. God so loved the world, He gave His Son to die on the cross. You know. Well, you know what? Honestly, the reason I'm asking because I honestly do want to learn different languages. I speak a little Arabic because I was raised, born and raised Muslim. But I want to perfect my Arabic more. Do you know Arabic? I just know Salam. Okay, but Persian is it's kind of like Arabic. Exactly. But the whole thing is this: I don't teach the language. I teach a system where you pick up enough of any language for conversation. And that's what I was going to ask you. Right. I want to learn more Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, but I want to learn more of this. So somebody like me could come to your school. Right. Okay. But listen to this. You know, we picture people. Right. Okay. Exactly. If I say onion, you see onion, right? Right. Okay. Can you see an onion saying hi to Shamika? Can you say onion hi Shamika? Okay. Can you say that? Onion hi Shamika? Yeah. That's how are you in Korean. That's how are you. Wow. Okay. Onion hi Shamika. Onion hi Shamika. Right. And so the greetings are so important because when people come here from different nationalities, different countries, and I teach English as a second language also. When people come here from certain countries, first of all, they don't think we want them here. So when you learn the greetings or something in their language, they know you've taken time with their people. And so right there, so my clothes are be cheaper than yours at the cleaners.
Of course.
Because I had the Korean,
exactly.
right? Even though I now changed to an African American sister, you know, because business, you know,
right. We have
business,
to support each other.
Support her, you know, so.
And where's her cleaners at?
It's on Midville.
Midville, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have to check that out.
It's on Midville.
Okay, and I want to segue into what else you do. You're also you work with the prison,
right?
Prisoners and the youth. And tell me more about that.
Lifers. I started something called the Juvenile Lifers Project.
Okay, wow.
Juveniles should not be sentenced to life without parole.
I totally agree.
Okay, you 14, 15, 16, and they had committed a murder or accessory to the murder.
Right.
They get life without parole. So now this kid, you just throw him out with the big regular prisoners for the rest of his life.
Wow.
Now I was in the youth study center as a kid. Okay, and some of the guys, I'm going home. But some of the other guys, they stayed here and they're still there. And that's how I got into juvenile prison rights as being a prison rights advocate.
Okay.
And they that have been there 25, 35 years, they should come home.
Yes, they should.
And
I
so
agree.
for 27 years, I have been working as a prisoner's rights advocate, social justice and legal justice, and social services and legal services. And the thing is that give them education, give them treatment.
Exactly.
Okay, give them a sentence, but have education and treatment, and have them together where you get psychologists and come in and work with them. So when their time is ready, for their time is up, then they come before the board and you see if they had their education, if they had this their treatment. Okay, don't just lock them up and throw away the key like you know, it's nothing good with them. Okay, so I got something I want to read real fast for you.
You sure can.
Glasses it.
Now, and I totally agree with that. I don't think that, unless they're like a child molester or something like that, I don't think that somebody in their young 20s should go to jail for the rest of their lives, because people do change as they get older.
A 14-year-old in the United States cannot order an alcoholic drink or purchase cigarettes, cast a ballot, join the army, drive a car, watch certain movies.
Right.
This is what a 14-year-old in the United States can be sentenced as an adult to life without the possibility of parole. The United States is the only country in the world to sentence youth to life without parole. There are over 2,500 people serving life without parole sentence for crimes committed in their youth.
Wow.
Scientific brain research has proven that youth have different cognitive skills than adults. Youth in adult facilities are 36 times more likely to commit suicide than youth in juvenile facilities. A life without the possibility of parole sentence for youth is a guarantee that they will die in prison.
Wow.
And so that's what we up against. And our thing is that in these 27 years working with prison rights and doing things, last year they deemed it unconstitutional to sentence juveniles to life without parole. And that just like went off in me. So we said, okay, now we got away. We got something now. So now I just basically went off.
So now what you're saying is that they can no longer sentence a 14-year-old as an adult. I mean, so that is
without
law
parole.
now, without parole.
Right.
So that's law now.
That's law now.
Okay.
But the whole thing is that they still working with it. Like, how about those that need to come home, or
Right,
those that
exactly,
need to be,
exactly.
so they still playing with it. So that's why we need to be able to do press conferences. That's why we need to. I want to thank you for having me on the show to be able to say this. You know what I'm saying? Because Michelle Alexander was here last week, and she wrote the book, The New Jim Crow, about mass incarceration.
Somebody sent me that book, as a matter of fact.
About mass incarceration, how it needs to stop, okay? And it was an awesome forum, the conference, and with that conference, it lets us know that it's people that think like us, and let you know that it's time for it to stop. Pennsylvania has the highest.
People that think like us. I'm suburban, okay? At one time, I thought that if a guy was in prison, that's where he belonged. So what? Throw away the key. But until I met someone that was serving life, for a crime that he actually did not commit. And through him, I met other guys, good men that are in prison for life.
Right.
You know, you have women out here that don't have a man that needs a good, strong role model in their lives, and these good guys are in prison sitting to life sentences for crimes that they did not commit. So honestly, I really want to talk to you off the air more about that, because I'm very passionate about that now.
Right.
Because
Now,
like you said, someone that commits a crime at 14, even 21, 22, once they get older, they do have regrets. They do know that that was wrong to do, but where do they go? Now, a friend of mine, he's on the 3rd level with the Innocence Project,
right.
so they're going to be looking at his sentence and trying to help him.
Right.
But they can't get to everybody.
Right. But see, what happened is that more groups social justice groups have to rise up. They have more groups that are looking into cases and things like that.
How would somebody contact you?
Well, you have my
Can you
information,
tell my viewers?
and my number is Juvenile Lifers Project, Knesset David Klein, Juvenile Lifers Project. I'm at 221 East Price Street, and I have multiple offices. That's my home address, but I have multiple offices because I'm in South Philly, I'm in Southwest Philly, I'm in Germantown, I'm in North Philly, so I'm mobile, just like being the evangelist, I'm all over, you know what I'm saying? So being a prison rights advocate and being able to advocate, you would call me also a resource advocate, because from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know, I worked with a group called Offender Aid and Restoration.
Okay, what is that?
We were supervised release programs when the prison was overcrowding, and so we would work with them, find jobs, housing, and I work with a couple groups right now that I want to give a shout out to.
Oh, sure.
Pastor Michelle in Why Not Prosper. She has a transitional for women that come from prison to transitional living, you know, job training and things like that. And I work with her on that project because I do life skills with her. And like, you know, my mom came through that situation and she came out real good, and her kids came out, you know what I'm saying? So there's hope for them. And I work with Joshua Achievement Center. They have men and women in transitional, okay? That's Pastor David Jones and Diane Jones at 20th and Burke Street, Joshua Achievement Center. And then I'm with New Hope Outreach Center, and that's on Wayne Avenue. And Pastor Bishop G, and she is even the head person when you want to go into the prisons. She goes into men's prison and women's prison.
Okay, let me cut you short for a minute with your shout outs and stuff, because we don't have a lot of time. So you're saying that even though you came up with parents that were addicted, obviously you turned out fine, and that's what I want for people. I want to close with that. I want people to understand that you can do better. You don't have to let your past dictate your future, and that's what I try to tell people. Do not let your past dictate your future. And with that, Knesset, very interesting name, I have to end my show, and I thank you very much for coming on my show.
Can I say one thing?
You sure can.
The piece I couldn't find in the boxing ring where I won many golden gloves, the piece I couldn't find in the disco where I danced all night, the piece I couldn't find selling crank and reefer, I found peace in Jesus Christ.
All right, thank you much. And thank you for turning to this wonderful, informative edition of Salima Speaks. And remember, love yourself, love others, and don't forget to stretch. Thank you. Bye-bye.